everyone, and welcome back to Monica's Place. It's a really rainy, dreary day here, so I haven't been able to get out into my garden and do too much, although some of the perennials are doing really well on their own. In the last video, I showed you some really neat vintage things that my daughter and I picked up, and we've continued to vintage shop. So I just want to show you a few of the things and how I've transformed them. So this is a great day for me to stay inside and get them done. I purchased this really awesome picture frame. It was just an empty frame and it cost $2.99, and it had some really neat ornate carving all around it, as you can see. So what I got my husband to do is to put some screening on the back there. He spray painted it green, my favorite color, and then I'm using it in my ensuite just off the master bath as a place to store all of my earrings. And I love it. So as I'm putting my makeup on in the mirror right here, I can look over for the day and make a selection of what earrings I want to wear. So this was great. $2.99. Great find. My latest haul is still sitting by the front door. My daughter and I went to a really cool garage sale yesterday. I found this really neat antique scrub board. This one here. And I love this. And I think I'm just going to leave it as it is and hang it on a wall, probably in another bathroom or in my laundry room. I found this cute little footstool here, and it costs $2. So I think I'll just recover this with some really neat fabric and maybe paint it, maybe not, and use that. Got this really cute chair, fold-up chair here, which I'm going to repaint. And this by here, I love it, although I wouldn't say it's truly vintage. It's a screen. It's kind of not really bamboo, but it was only $10. So I know I will find a use for that. I've already started working on this big glass jar. I love this. I didn't have anywhere to put my fibers, so I rolled it all up. And I've placed most of it in this jar. And then I found these chalk slate labels here at the dollar store. I know Stampin' Up! Sells them, but not for $1. So I'm either going to place one on the front, or on the top, sorry, or on the side. And I'm just going to chalk in fiber on it. And speaking of chalk, I have always wanted a chalkboard on my wall where I can write quotes or profound sayings that I hear, and those tend to change from day to day or week to week. So I found this chalkboard for $1. I don't particularly like the decor of it, but I am going to transform it by making a whole bunch of handmade flowers and bought flowers and repainting it. So I'll show you how that turns out. But that's still okay. And then I took the other one that looked like a trash can and wrote it on my little desk trash can. Just put trash. I think these are really cute, these little labels. And for $1, I mean, that's 25 cents for that. It looked like a trash can and wrote it on my little desk trash can. Just put trash. I think these are really cute, these little labels. And for $1, I mean, that's 25 cents for that label. So that whole fiber container was $1.25. The last thing I found was the shelf at the Goodwill. I've already started to paint it. I just gave it a coat of red. It was brown before. I want it to look really shabby chic. So I'm going to sand it up a little bit, put some rub-ons on it, have my husband hang it on the wall, and I'm going to put my bracelets on it in my bedroom because I have a lot of baubles and dangles and my jewelry boxes are just not big enough for everything. So I think it'll be a great home for my bracelets. I'm not sure if you can get a real good look at this table, but my husband and I found this at our local thrift store, and it was only $4. It's solid steel. It was an old teacher's desk. The drawer part there, you can see right under there, is missing, but it still stores paper projects that I'm working on. It just doesn't have the drawer front. And we painted it again in my favorite green, and it's just like solid steel. Seriously, I'm in the middle of doing my transformation of my vintage items, and I look up to my window and look, it is snowing. May 29th, 2010, and big, nice Christmas snowflakes coming down. Isn't that nice? Looks just wonderful. We're supposed to be going to a barbecue tomorrow. Wonder if we're still going. So here we have the finished chalkboard, and I love the way it turned out. And so I will show you some of the things that I did. So I taped it all off with painter's tape, and I first of all I ripped off all those gaudy hearts and chickens and stuff, and I used my embossing gun to heat up the glue residue and then wipe it off and heat it up and wipe it off. So that took a little while. Then I painted the frame of the board with different paints, and I used some crackle paint, and then I used some stain, some walnut stain for the crackle effect. I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. And then I just added a whole bunch of flowers, either homemade or some that I had purchased. I just bought these big giant green ones at the dollar store. And then I loved how the chalkboard had a clothespin to hold the chalk in, so I can just change this daily and add different quotes. So I just wrote, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder," just because this was pretty ugly, but I could see the beauty beyond. So I love this transformation. It turned out really well. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.